Hello, grade 10. We're going to have a program here now. We're going to write a program where you're going to create a password from a person's first name and surname. And the rules are, if the name starts with a consonant, a password needs to be compiled by combining the first three letters of that first name and the first three letters of the surname, combining the first three letters of the first name with the first three letters of the surname. If the first name starts with a consonant, and if the first name starts with a vowel, the password's going to be combining the last three letters of the first name with the last three letters of the surname. If either the name or the surname contains less than 3, we must display an error message and exit. So let's go and get our input, EDT name and EDT surname. Double click create password, make a variable for that. VAR is first, is make variables, yes, first. I know it's always easy to easier to work with variables than with the actual input component names. Surname.text. Right, so first of all I'm going to check the length. If length of S first is first, and I'm going to use and here, length of S sir. Well, if length of S first and the length of S sir, so you have to write it like this. If length of S first is less than, must be equal to 3, less than 3, less than 3. If either one of them is less than 3, which means we use and here. It's very important to know when to use and or. So if one of those, if the length of one of them is less than 3, then we need to have this message shown and exit the program. Please enter at least 3 characters for name and surname. It's a long message, eh? Never mind. Then the important part here is to exit, so that this procedure will close and the user can still type. And we can even say EDT name dot set focus. Set focus. You can also clear it before we set the focus on EDT name. EDT name dot clear. Oops, I'm over typing here. Clear the edit box and EDT name dot set focus. Let's run and see what happens. Right, so if I write Joe here with a, and one of them is wrong, so it actually should have told us. Yeah. We actually should put an or there, not an and, eh? Not bad. Or, either one. That one or that one. Right, so let's go and do that again. Joe and Quinn, because we know Quinn is more than 3. So they're saying, right, there's the message that comes up, and then can you see the focus is there. You can also say EDT surname dot clear. Right, so that will do that job. Right, we know that the procedure will exit. Nothing else after that will happen, so we can just carry on with the rest of our things that we want to do. We assume that exit means that will be the end of this procedure. For this button click event, we double click the button. Right, so underneath all of this, we're going to now go and do our worry about our the first character of the first name. So we say if uppercase S name character number 1 in the set of vowels, capital vowels A, E, I, O, U. If it's in that set, then, oh sorry, not S name, S first, Oops, caps lock button on. So that is how you go and check to see if the first character is in the set of vowels. If you don't understand it, memorize it, but that's how it works. The in operator helps you with a lot of unnecessary typing. You just have to write one line. And the set notation is a very useful tool to use. Otherwise you're going to have to ask a whole lot of if statements. If equals A, if equals B, E, if equals, oh, no. Make your life easier. Know how to use this in operator and set notation there. And of course I'm upcasing the character. Upcase is to be used for one character, and uppercase is to uppercase a whole string. Right, if it's in the set of vowels, then we're going to make our passwords going to be the first three. No, if it's a vowel, it's the last 3 letters of the name and the last 3 letters of the surname. So that's going to be a little bit trickier because we know the length of our surname. So I'm going to make a length. We've got the variable. We can have our len. We can get the length. Okay. Let's do the first one. I'll say our len equals length of S first. Okay, so let's go get the length of S first. And we can even make another variable called rlen. Well, let's make it rlen1 and rlen2. Why do I want the length? Well, we'll see now. Rlen2 equals the length of S sur. We want the length of the surname and the length of the first name. So I'm just going to quickly show you here. Sorry, I just have to do this quickly. There we go. Sorry, I thought it wasn't showing. Right. So, if the length, so that's Janet. Okay, let's make Janet the name of the person, the first name. So we'll do this with the first name. The same will happen with the surname. And the characters are the characters of the string. So there's your string. Okay, this is S first. So our characters of our string are there. The length is 5. If you want to get the last 3 characters, what are we going to do? Is it 5 minus 3? Are we going to start copying from character number 5 minus 3 is 2? Hey, we say 5 minus 2, then we know we're going to start copying from that character number 3. So that's the length, okay? And you subtract 2 from it, then we know that that is going to be our starting point of copying. Right, so I've got to then go and use, I'm going to make a variable called sPassword. Okay, this is only if we have the vowels starting. So sPassword is going to be equal to copy from S first, starting at rlen1 minus 2. And how many characters are we copying? If the length is 5, length minus 2 will be 3. And how many characters are we going to copy? 3 characters. So 3 characters. It was supposed to be the last characters, but we've got to join that. sPassword has to be joined to another. I'm just going to put on another line so you can see. And we're going to copy from the surname as well. S sur rlen2, because the rlen2 is the length of the surname. And how many characters? It's the same formula, just that we're using different lengths, because the surname has a different length to the first name, not so. Right, so that's done if the first character is in a vowel. If it's not in a vowel, well, we better do an else here. Else begin and end. Can you see we've got begin and end there? We don't actually have to have the length now, because it says it's the first 3 characters, and it's easy to copy the first 3 characters of a string. Much easier than getting the last 3. So we'll say S password equals, we're going to copy from S first, starting at 1 and the 3 characters, plus copy from S sur starting at 1 and 3 characters. So easy that was. So we have 2 things that we're going to do. If the first character is in the set of vowels, then we're going to do this complicated code. Otherwise, else part, can you see that else, begin and end, we're going to do this easier bit of code. And what are we going to do at the end? Well, this is the end of the procedure. Before the end of the procedure, we have to display. Where shall we display? Inside our panel display. So we go PNL display dot lines dot add is password. There it is. The tricky part was over here, knowing how to get the last 3 characters of a word. Now they had to have 2 different lengths here, because the first name and the surname are different lengths. Okay. Right, so let's run the program, make sure it works. Oops. Near what? Look there. PNL display dot caption equals, my word. There we go. That's better, hey? Let's run the program. Let's go and check it with some words. Shall we use our David into Simone? Okay, I'm going to use that one. David, and the surname is into Simone. Great password, David int, and if this first name is Adam, and then we click create password. There we go. So now try and do that without looking, and see you tomorrow.